So today I want to cover a question that someone asked me. They asked me, have I ever manifested for someone else? Now, I was trying to have a conversation with an individual, and I was trying to explain to them that you really can't manifest for someone else. Now, the individual came back to me, which I'm grateful for his question. His question was to me after that was that he knew some people, some situations where there was a brother who had visualized a certain result for the brother, and the brother took certain actions without knowing that he was visualizing from what I understand from the story he was conveying to me, and that caused the brother to go and was able to get what he wanted. From what I'm told, just to clarify. From what my understanding is, the brother was visualizing and putting the energy out there for the other brother, and the other brother went and was able to achieve what he wanted to achieve. Now, I still stand by my by my statement when I say that you can't manifest for someone else. Okay. Now, we can. It's kind of like praying. You can pray and hope that someone who's probably living a certain kind of lifestyle, maybe making choices that we know is leading them to the wrong path. Maybe, let's say for an example, let's give you an extreme example. We're seeing this a lot in today's society where we know someone, whether it's family or friend, who have made wrong choices and have gotten into drugs or maybe drinking. And you can sometimes you talk to them and you have family interventions, and sometimes depending on the level of severity, they may not see that they have a problem, or they maybe are aware that they have a problem, but they don't want to change. So you can pray for them, and you can hope that God, universe, the divine can look after them and bring some sense into them. But even the divine can't really go ahead and stop them from taking drugs. The reason why is because that goes against the law of free will. If we didn't have free will, okay, we would be robots. Life would not be worth it. You would be something that you probably wouldn't even know what a choice is. It's kind of like slavery would be a big thing. You wouldn't have a choice to be free. You wouldn't have a choice in anything that you find that you love right now, that you're grateful for. I mean, the past few generations would not have the freedom that we have now in so many ways, in religion, in I mean, the kind of foods, the kind of people we're dating, we would just be absolutely robots. I mean, think of it this way: a guy or a girl sees a guy that they like, and that they can control them with the universe and say, "Oh, I'm gonna have that." I mean, what if that person that they want is with someone who's their twin flame or soulmate? They're living absolute bliss together. So you're going to tell me someone will have the power over you to come and take that away from you? No, the divine doesn't work like that. And you got to understand too, I would not be here, and none of the teachers, the ascended masters would be here, because we're teaching you that you have a choice, which is the true power, choosing and holding on to that decision that you make. You can manifest or bring about the life that you truly desire. That's why everything is possible. The word possible wouldn't even really be in existence, because if you're born to just serve one way, so if the universe or God created you to wake up every day, not even sleep, just every day, 24 hours a day is to serve Him, and you had no choice, how would the word possible or freedom of choice, freedom of will even exist? It wouldn't. You would just be a robot. A lot of things that we enjoy would not even exist. Okay, because that's how, by having the freedom of choice, we define who and what we are, and by defining who and what we are, as we go through our experiences in life, we become the person, person or people that you look at every day in the mirror. You would not be the person you are if someone can control your destiny. Um, and that's something most of us don't seem to understand. We feel like we're imprisoned because of circumstance, situations, or events. Some people feel stuck because maybe they grew up in a family and the family did things a certain way. You don't have to do things according to the way your family did it. You may think you do, because that's what we going back to one of my previous recordings about a paradigm. Paradigm is a multiple of habits. Belief systems is what you believe. A paradigm is what creates your reality. So you see how it works is that you have this huge, endless universe of endless possibilities. And in each universe, there's different bubbles, which are your perception. Okay, so my perception in life is differently, so I have a different bubble, and within that bubble I have the different circumstance, situations, and events that match what I believe. And so people that are either in perfect vibrational frequency with me will live in that bubble with me, but they will also have their own thing going on too, their own reality within that bubble. We will share that reality, partially share that reality. When you have a person that comes together as husband and wife, or even as just boyfriend and girlfriend, now you're combining it to such a higher degree that you're sharing more of, you chose to allow to share more of the experiences or share that reality, those perceptions or those bubbles. They come together. You have two bubbles, and they kind of go like this. You see what I'm saying? They kind of cross. See, they interlock. I don't know if you can see this. So you have the two bubbles, and they come in and they interlock like this, and now you have this connection. But if you look really carefully, it's infinity. It's the infinity sign. You see what I'm saying? Two circles as one, and it can be always like that. But sometimes we get that separation, and there's no longer infinity. You see, there's the individuality. And so you got to understand that no one can manifest for you. No one can determine your reality. It will go against the law. And this is what you got to understand, whether you like what I'm saying or not. It is the way it is. I'm just telling you how the universe works. The way it works is like this. Okay? Is like this. People will want to make their choices, and you can't change that. That's their choices. That's their right to make a choice. If the law of free will didn't exist and it'll change continuously, then it wouldn't be a law. A law is like the law of gravity, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction. The reason why, if you look deep down to the core purpose of why so many millions of people pursue these laws, and the wisdom of these laws, and the practical application of these laws, and why I'm doing these videos, and why anybody would watch or even sit and decide to watch it, is because we're trying to find the understanding, the practical application of them within our lives. We're trying to dispel the illusions of them and understand how they really work, so that we can apply them, so that we can understand and awaken to the true awareness of who and what we are, so that we can be able to have the lives we desire. You see? So in layman's terms, without those laws that are constant, okay, that never change, these laws never change. It is because they don't change and they're constant, we find the confidence, and we're grateful for the fact that this is something that never changes. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter where you come from, your beliefs and whatnot, it never changes. So if something never changes, and no matter how many generations come and go, these laws will always be. And if these laws will always be, then that's why they're finite. They're infinite. They never change. You may change We're always changing, but these laws never change. But it's the faith and hope in the fact that we find within that idea that they don't change, or that knowing, the absolute knowing that they don't change, that we pursue this knowledge, this wisdom. And so that's what gets me through the day. It's like, okay, things may be the way they are, and sometimes things may not end up the way you want them to end up, but applying this mindset, this law, these laws, we know that all we have to do is keep applying them, keep learning them, because they're constant. They won't change, you know? So, and it's like a football player or a baseball player that's always throwing that ball always knows that the way gravity works, and when you throw a ball, it curves up like this and comes down. I mean, once they understand all that, they can you know, football player can obviously I'm not the greatest with the football knowledge, but you know, a quarterback can throw that ball, or a pitcher can throw that ball and land it where they want it to land it, once they master the law of gravity, and then, you know, all those little aspects of throwing the ball, putting the curve, just stuff like that you have to know. And then once you master that, you can do it all day, like Michael Jordan, like poop, throw it in the hoop all day, because you understand the law of gravity. You know, it never changes. But what happened if the law one day, today is, let's say on Monday, the law of gravity pulls things down, and then tomorrow it pulls things up, and then the next day sideways? That's not a constant law. You can't take much confidence in something that constantly changes. You know, that's like taking pride or having faith. How can the word faith wouldn't even exist if you truly believe in something that you know to be true, which is constant, which is infinite. So the laws, the universal laws, or God or source, if source wasn't its teachings and the wisdom of God wasn't consistent, wasn't always the same, you wouldn't have faith in nothing. You wouldn't believe in the unbelievable. You'd be like, screw it. What's the point? Life wouldn't have no purpose. Okay? So understanding that you cannot manifest for no one else. Now that said, what this person that asked me the question and that was telling me a story, you know, about how he had read something about a brother that manifested something for another brother. Yes, that is possible. Now you're probably saying, well, you're contradicting yourself. No, I told you in the beginning how the law works. Okay? Having this knowledge is important. Now let's go a little bit further. How is it possible that you can help someone manifest? Okay? Let's say the brother in their heart, in their mind, are on a path where they want to manifest some great thing in their life, maybe a certain job, an opportunity to work for a company. Okay, and then let's say I'm the brother, or you're the brother, or you're the sister of that guy, of that brother. Let's say the brother, for example. Let's make this a little more realistically. Okay, let's start taking some energy and forming it. Okay, the way we do that is we give it names. So let's say Jim or James is the brother that wants to work for this great company. Okay, let's say they want to work for Google, right? And maybe it's difficult to get into Google. I don't know. But let's say James wants to get into Google, get an opportunity to get into Google, even you know, just to work for them. Maybe he knows that in his research that he's done about Google, maybe he knows that he can grow in this company more than any other company. Maybe he also knows that his company is stable, and that just being able to work with them right away, maybe you're making an instant $45,000 a year instantly. Maybe they're paying more than just a regular Joe Schmo job. And then you know that every year, the better you get, the better it gets, meaning that you'll be able to climb up the ladder, and that they inspire you to be great. They inspire you to be so great so that they can give you their money, because they want to give you their money. What if that company is like that? There's companies that are like that. So let's say Google's like that. They inspire you to be great. Let's say this guy wants to be great. Maybe this guy is a great artist, a designer. Okay? So maybe he's in the beginning stages of being a great designer, but he is great inside, but his work outside doesn't match that which is within. Okay, meaning his artworks are not matching that the knowing that he is a great designer. Okay, because he's in the beginning stage, he's learning how to bring what's in and bring it out into the world, to manifest it out into the world. Okay, let's say now you see this as James's brother or sister. Well, what you can do is you can start to visualize and put it out there and see James working, not getting into the job, no, but working at such a high level in the company, and you can see him happy, you can see him excited, you can see him dressed really well, you can see him like totally different type of James, not the James we know now, same face, same energy of James, but at a higher level. So someone who is, you gotta imagine someone who is super happy, super thrilled, and imagine that they have that confidence, the confidence that comes from of years. So now you're seeing him there in this company that he's been there for years. He's living, he's got the life, he's got the family. You can even see that. Maybe he doesn't have a family right now. Maybe he doesn't have that girlfriend. Or, you know, you can see that. Visualize the best for James. Put it out there. That is putting a blessing. That's what we call a blessing. Or in Reiki, we call that similar to long distance healing. You're blessed, you're helping, you're sharing your energy or your love, okay, and you're putting it out there because he already wants it. Because he already wants it, you're aligning to help give him kind of like a little boost. See, in Qigong, okay, and Qigong, when you go to heal someone in Qigong, which is an ancient martial arts, which is very similar to Reiki. Actually, Qigong is way older than Reiki, if for anyone that knows what I'm talking about. When you do Qigong and you put the hands on someone to do a healing, you're actually boosting their own Qi or life force. And it's kind of like, let's break it down a little bit more, because that's what my channel is all about, right? We're breaking it, we're demystifying the law, the illusion. So when you look at, let's say, for example, you take a car and you need to boost that battery because the car died, right? The other car is not running the other car. No, you're boosting the power of the battery. You're recharging the power of the battery. And then once it gets charged enough, strong enough, it's that battery within that car that is not starting that will start. And then once it starts, its own mechanisms, its own electricity that it's building that is going to recharge. The alternator will which is what charges the battery, will charge that battery. As long as that battery is a healthy, good battery, that battery, because we all get drained, we all get tired. Okay, and the mental and the spiritual and the physical is because you know we go through so many difficulties. It's getting recharged. You recharge that battery, and then as long as it's healthy, it'll go. You don't have to keep the power. You don't have to keep the booster cables on that thing. You don't. You just get it boosted. So the same thing with Qigong. If the person accepts the healing, okay, this goes back to the beginning of time. Any great healer will tell you what I'm saying. You cannot heal someone who does not accept the healing, okay? Who does not want the healing, because it'll go against free will. If they accept the healing, then you can help to boost their own natural energy or Qi, which is life force, and then their Qi or life force will heal themselves, because we have the power to heal ourselves, okay? So it's the same thing when you're helping someone manifest. As a story, an example of James, yes, I can help him manifest if he truly desires the assistance from the energy that I'm giving out. Now, if he doesn't believe that he can, if James doesn't believe that he can get that job, or if James doesn't desire that job truly, I can be sitting there and blessing and hoping and wishing and saying all this energy all day. He's going to repel it. It's like him saying no. And because he doesn't believe in it, because he has freedom of choice, and the law of free will is always in effect, whether you accept it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you see it or not, it's always in effect. It's been in effect since The laws were first created, the universal laws. So they don't, since we know these laws don't change, we already spoke about that. Okay? They don't change. That's why we follow them. That's why they give us faith for tomorrow, for the next second. That's why we're here listening to what we're listening. That's why we're on the path that we are. That's why you came across my channel. You see what I'm saying? Because you're following you're searching, you're looking for the information that is in alignment with who and what you're becoming, or who and what you are. So this is what I'm giving you. And the sooner you can get to where you want to go, to the next level, is by accepting and understanding what I'm saying. Because the accepting is allowing. The understanding is becoming aware, and the moment you become aware of the knowledge, of the wisdom, then you awaken more. The more you awaken, and the more you awaken, the closer you get to enlightenment, which is absolute clarity to who and what you are, and therefore there will no longer be separation from God, from source, whatever you want to call it. Many names, same thing. And then you will remember, oh, I am this. I am that I am. The great I am. Okay? Because he who's within is greater than he who's within the world. You got to understand that we're waking up to our true essence, the true godlike that is within us. Okay? But we must understand these laws. Once you understand these laws, you can apply them correctly. Wasting time in applying something that doesn't work the way you want it to work is not going to get the results. It's going to get frustration, and you're going to develop that. Instead of developing the mindset of I can, you're going to develop mindset I can't. Instead of developing the mindset of it's possible, you're going to develop the mindset of it's impossible. Okay? And yeah, everything and anything is possible, but you must understand the continuous, infinite laws of the universe. You got to learn how to use them. You don't have to agree with them, because there are times you're going to be like, well, I don't know why this works like that. You could do that all day, or you can learn how to apply them and let the laws be the laws. Let God be God. Let universe be universe. You do your thing in harmony and alignment with the laws, so that you can get to where you need to go and experience what you need to experience and do the work that you need to do. If you truly desire to do that, that's your choice, and no one can take that away, because it is law. So I like to end this with one more note, and it's through repetition, synchronicity, because that's what the universe's language is, and that's how we learn. It's another thing you got to understand. I'm giving this information to you in multiple ways. It sounds like I'm just babbling. I'm not babbling. It's not babbling. It's through repetition, synchronicity. So I'll repeat the same thing with different examples, because the information is so important that you can get it. It has nothing about that you're smart, you're not smart, you're not intelligent, It has nothing to do with that. I want to make sure that I'm conveying the information from different angles, different point of views, so that you can see it. Okay? And as long as you get to see it, that's all that matters, man. Take what you need to take from this information and throw away the mess. And then come back and watch it again, because you may be surprised. How many times have you read something, come back a few weeks, a month, a year, and because you had learned so much over that time, when you come back, you're able to understand a lot more of that information. You're able to dig deeper into that information, because what happens is, the more you awaken, the more you remove the fog, or you demystify the illusion. You can see clearly, so when you come back to these videos, you're like, whoa, okay, now I see this other bit of information I didn't see before. So again, remember, you cannot manifest for someone else. It's similar to like trying to heal someone. You cannot heal someone. Even Buddha, Jesus, Gandhi, all these people, when they went to heal someone, they made it clear, you have to believe. You have to believe, or you have to believe that you can be healed, or you have to accept it. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. You have to accept the healing before you can be healed. And in a lot of the great energy works, or great energy teachings like Reiki, Qigong, whatever, you have to accept the healing. Some good teachers will teach you that. They'll ask you, do you accept this? And And you'll be, yes, I do. Because you can do the Reiki all day, you can do the Qigong all day, you can do an energy work all day. If deep down inside, if the person does not want to accept the healing, what you're giving, they may not walk away with what you was, with the healing that they truly deserve. Now, is there another aspect of this, which I'll make another video if, under your request. If you have requests, I'll make a video. I don't like to get into this area, but there are some people that can send energy to you, but that's not according to the law. They'll try to force it on you. And that's like, if you really think about it, how would you want to be forced to have sex with someone you're not attracted to, you don't love? How would you like to be forced to have food stuffed down your mouth? Or, how would you like to be forced to do something you don't like? And that's what and that's that negative vibration, that's that negative energy. Some people that are good at that, they will send that energy to you and say it's healing, but it's not. It won't feel right. And you can even get sick from it. So you got to be careful. Okay? So understand you have the power not to accept any kind of blessing from someone that you don't want to. Call upon the highest divine to surround you with absolute divine, loving, purified, loving light. And it will protect you. Call upon God. Okay? But when you're looking at the real law, the law of free will, you cannot manifest for someone. You cannot force someone to do something. They have free will. It'll go anything or any teaching that goes against the laws is not of the law. It's not of the universe. It's not from God source. It's not from the light. All right. So you got to be cautious on how you go about saying, trying to, send a blessing or send some energy. No, they got to choose. So if you're manifesting, then helping someone to manifest, that person has to be in alignment with your intent. So if your intent is that you want them to have that, like as the story of James, you want James to have that job at Google, James has got to want that as well. He's got to be a sincere desire. His intent has got to be in alignment with that. So then you can bless. And you see that in a lot of religions and a lot of spirituality teachings where you have multiple people coming together in like-minded intent to make a change, to a positive change or something good. Okay? And so that will work. You're boosting, it's like you're boosting, they're different antennas boosting the signal. And so the manifestation will be more stronger, and it will come in alignment with what that thing or person or circumstance is trying to bring into fruition. But it can't not happen if they're not in perfect vibrational frequency or harmony. That's why you see a lot of times a couple that gets together and it seems like nothing, they did nothing. It was just like, oh, it was God sent. That's because subconsciously. Because a lot of this happens subconsciously, and what my channel is all about is teaching you how to master the faculties of your mind and to bring what's subconscious or conscious into the conscious so that you can understand that instead of being a victim of these laws that are being applied and being done every day, they're happening every moment as you sit right now, as you're listening to this right now, whether you're aware of it or not. These laws are in effect every day. The law of gravity is in effect every day. Okay? Cause and effect every day, law of attraction every day. If you're having a bad day and you're always gossiping and worrying about and how your day was crappy, and you complain about everybody else, well, you're applying the law of attraction and you're attracting like attracts like. And the better it gets, the better it gets, meaning what as the hex says, but instead of it getting better, it's getting worse. The worse it gets, because you're focusing on negative. You see what I'm saying? So you're applying these laws all the time. So isn't it better, instead of being a victim or being like the Walking Dead, because you look at a lot of the stories, you have people who, you have a lot of the young generation who are, their 20s, 30s, and they're walking around like they're dead already. Like they're these old, dried up, stagnant, human beings, because they're not understanding how how the mind really works, how to really think, how to really apply the power of the subconscious mind that controls all things. It's what connects to source and what allows you to flow, and what allows you to basically bring about the life that you truly desire. So remember, we cannot force anyone. Until next time, love and peace. This is Ray. Take care.